Hey everyone, I just wanted to run you through the repair of an iMac. So this one had a dead hard drive, completely died, and I was about to send this thing off to Apple to get it repaired because when I looked it up online on how to repair the hard drive, the first thing I saw is that I needed these hefty little suction cups. So that freaked me out right away because it involves removing the glass to get inside. Turns out, just like anything in life, you do it the first time and you realize it's not that hard. So I wish that I had a video. I wish that somebody had walked me through what this looks like in the real world when we open it up and see what's inside. Like I said, it's really not that scary. So we're gonna get into it, but first I want to show you what we need. So iFixit.com sells these suction cups. They say that you need these. They're really not necessary. I've heard all over online, of course, after I did the repair and after I purchased these, that all it really requires is a sharp knife to get between the glass and you can pull it up. You can even use those cheap suction cups that you get at Home Depot, places like that. You're gonna need a T8, a Torx driver for a T8 and a T10. We're going to need some anti-static wipes. After we remove the glass, we kind of expose ourselves to lots and lots of dust being in between the glass and the monitor, so we want to make sure that we clear out any dust that might be in between. That would create a huge annoyance. We're also going to need a paper clip fashioned like this. Yes, this is high-tech, people. And I just have a little light here just because I'm going to cheat on this repair. I like to get in and out. I'm not licensed, I'm not certified, I'm not bonded. I'm probably breaking protocol here, but this method worked for me and it allowed me to get in and out as fast as possible. One other word to mention here, maybe you're not fixing a broken hard drive. Maybe you're upgrading and you just want more space for your primary hard drive. I would recommend getting one of these little devices if you do a lot of repairs on your own. One of these little devices costs you around 130 bucks, and really it's just kind of like a toaster for a hard drive. So you put your hard drive in, you connect it. This one has all kinds of connections, eSATA, FireWire, USB of course. Connect it to your computer, and I used Super Duper. It's a free app, donationware basically, and you just run Super Duper. It copies your primary drive to this drive. That way when you plug it in, all you've got to do is boot it up and it's ready to go. So it creates a bootable copy of your hard drive. All right, I think that's it. I'm ready to get started. Okay, now there are 8 Torx screws. There's 4 here and 4 here. Got to take those out so we can pull up the monitor. Okay, this is where the high-tech paperclip comes in. This is a hook that you bring into one of the corners here, and there's a little bracket that has a little triangle shape that you can get underneath and pull this up. Okay, now be careful, go slow, and don't pull it all the way up because there are lots of ribbon cables below that you do not want to separate. Okay, now here's the trick. Most of the repair manuals that I saw want you to unplug all these ribbon cables, and I think that's probably a nice way to do it if you've got all day long, but most of the time we want to get our computer repaired as soon as possible and get it back in action. So there's one right here that I unplugged, and that's all I'm going to unplug as far as the ribbon cables. Most of the repair manuals want you to completely remove this whole top. I'm just going to use my hand here as a little prop and get in here to do some work. That's where the light comes in handy if you need it. What I'm after is the hard drive right here. And first thing I need to do is unplug the cables that are attached to it. There's the data cable and the power cable. And there's also a thermal cable. Alright, now is when I need the smaller Torx. Next thing we've got to do is remove this bracket right here. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm just watching these ribbon cables that I've got here. So if I tear these, I'm in big trouble. So I can get this bracket out. Just lift it up. A couple more turns there. And just lift it up and slide it out. Okay, now I want to be careful with this as I put it back down. I don't want to munch anything that's in there. And again, I'm not licensed, I'm not bonded, I'm not insured, but this is how I did it, and this is what worked for me. And on the other side, we've got these little pins instead of brackets, and those pins are what hold it in place on the other side. Those come out. There's also this little pad on here that keeps probably keeps things from rattling around. Probably just dampens the vibration. So I'm going to take that off. It's just a little sticky thing. I'm going to take that off. And there we have it. Okay. Now, here's a trick. The hard drives that Apple puts into these computers have a very specific thermal connector, a thermal sensor connector. So here are the two hard drives that we've got. This is a traditional kind that is sold today. So you've got your data and your power, and then you've got a thermal sensor that allows your computer to monitor the heat of your hard drive and spin up the fans appropriately. This one, being the new connection, the modern connection that you can find everywhere, is not what you need. You need this one with this 8-pin connector here. Because on the inside they've got a connector that only fits these, and if you buy another normal hard drive off of Newegg or any other source that sells you hard drives, you're probably going to run into that same problem. So this is a huge thing. Make sure you have the right hard drive. Last time I probably put this drive in 2 or 3 times because I forgot which way the mounting bracket went on it, and so this time I'm going to put the drive as if it's in there. So I'm going to make sure I have my connections here, and that looks about right, so I'm going to go with it. Okay, and this is going to go over here. Stick that on there. Carefully. And I'm going to make sure that my thermal sensor cable is cleared. I don't want to put the hard drive in on top of it. So I'm just going to kind of tuck it out over here somewhere. Make sure that it's out of the way. There's 8 pins, and there are only 6 that are on this connector. So it's going to go to the closest edge near the other connectors. Connect this one because it's here. I'll take this one, connect it there. Just make sure they're snug. Everything's good to go. Don't want to have to open this up again. Get the monitor back in place. Make sure that that kind of clears the lip there. Okay. Before I actually shut it down though, I'll make sure that I get this little connector back in here. All right, so putting these screws back in can be kind of tough, because if you don't have a magnetized screwdriver, these magnets, which hold the glass in place, can really get in the way. For one thing, if you're trying to put your screw in next to this magnet right here, the magnet is going to suck the screw off of your magnet. So you might just need to use some needle nose pliers on these ones that are really close to the magnet. See how strong that is? It's amazing. But sometimes I'll do this. I know, again, I'm not licensed, I'm not bonded, but I'll just take the screwdriver I'm using and I'll just put it on one of the magnets for a minute or something, so that it kind of charges it up. The other thing I did is I put the other ones that are waiting here, put the other screws onto magnets, hoping that by the time I get to them, they will be magnetized and will stick to my driver. All right, needle nose it is. Okay, so now just got to make sure that we don't have any dust that is going to be stuck between the monitor and the glass. And the glass, of course, sitting over here on the carpet, I'm sure has gotten some dust on it too. So what I'm going to do is use the anti-static wipes on the inside of the glass and on the front of the monitor, and make sure that we don't have any issues once we fire this thing up. Now, the inside of the glass. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. A lot of people don't get to see the inside of their iMac, but it's pretty genius how they set this up. The glass has this metal strip around the edges, and those edges are what line up with these magnets, and then of course it just has these little lips which fit into the very bottom down here. Now the thing is, these suction cups are really nice though, for the fact that they do give me some big handles to manage the glass in a safe way. So the little lip goes in, all the way in there. Just want to make sure that it goes all the way to the bottom. There you go. All right. As others have mentioned, these heavy-duty suction cups aren't really necessary, so I'm just going to see if I can get a fingernail in there and lift it up. All right. Again, not licensed, not bonded, not certified. Would not recommend this, because this would probably break the glass at some point. But if you were really desperate, this just goes to show that you can get some space between the glass and the frame if you really, really needed to, and you didn't want to spend the 15 bucks, or you didn't have the time to wait for those suction cups to arrive, or your mom didn't have any of those stained glass hummingbird glass ornaments in your window that you could use her suction cups, then you still can open this up. So it is pretty easy to open without any suction cups. So there you have it, the iMac with a new hard drive, in and out in no time. I took this to my local Mac store, or Apple store, and they were going to charge about 260 bucks for it. I wouldn't recommend this repair for anyone, but if you are somebody who does a lot of repair on your own computers, I'm going to tell you it's no sweat. Just take your time, maybe pull up the repair guide on iFixit.com, and make double sure that you have the right hard drive. That's where I ran into trouble the first time I did this. And if you don't have the right hard drive with the thermal sensor, you can still put it in, but your fan is going to run at 100% the entire day, all the time, 100%, and it's really annoying. And it's probably going to wear out your fan a lot sooner than it really should. So make sure you've got the right hard drive, get some suction cups, get some anti-static wipes, get your T8 and your T10 Torx driver, and your paper clip, maybe some needle nose, and you're good to go. In and out in probably 15 minutes.